Well, in this month's edition of Culture Matters, we take a look at Student Connections. It's an Indianapolis-based company, an affiliate of USA Funds, but like USA Funds, Student Connections undergoing dramatic change. Paul Ashley is managing director at FirstPerson. He joins me now with some perspective. As always, Paul, welcome.
Thanks, Gary.
All right, let's talk about it. Student Connections. We all know of USA Funds, been around for a long time. USA Funds undergoing dramatic change.
Absolutely. So USA Funds for many, many years was in the loan guarantee business, and actually linked to the Affordable Care Act, kind of had to get out of it. And what they've done, USA Funds, the parent company of Student Connections, has really left that loan guarantee business and become almost like a private equity incubator where their mission is to help students do education completion with a purpose. And Student Connections is one of their key early success stories that spun out as a wholly owned subsidiary and doing great things for students.
So Student Connections specifically, as part of that USA Funds mission, really focuses on students, former students who've gotten out of the educational process with debt, and helping them to solve maybe that debt issue and also the education piece.
That's exactly right. So what Student Connections does is they have a call center that has both inbound and outbound approaches to help students who have maybe not finished their education or have finished their education and have debt or can't secure the funding they need in a healthy way, an economically healthy way. And so the average person they help has about $10,000 in student debt, which we all know has been a big problem and continues to be a big problem in the U.S.
Right. All right. The company became a standalone company in October of last year, moved into new space. And so the cultural piece is an important part of this process. Talk about the new space, and as we were talking off camera a moment ago, these intentional collisions that are occurring now.
Yeah, Craig Anderson, who we had a chance to spend some time with a couple weeks ago as we prepared for this conversation, said, the old space we had in Fisher's, lovely office, but it didn't really lend itself to the work we need to do to be collaborative. And so when they designed their new space, which actually is a return to the Castleton area, where actually USA Funds started, so they're it's a homecoming, right? And they want to have the same success USA Funds had. They designed the space so it was very open, very collaborative. They have multiple breakout rooms so people can have private conversations that they need to, but also have conference space. And then there's this main hub in the middle that's basically their massive living room slash cafeteria slash kitchen. And what it's done is it's created these intentional collisions. So in the past, folks wouldn't be connected to other folks within the business. For example, the marketing folks who are trying to create stories wouldn't know these amazing success stories that their call center people had, or these really emotional stories where they're helping people get connected with resources to live out the mission they have. And now it happens on a regular basis. Now they can't stop people talking internally across teams, which is pretty neat.
And again, the important word I think here is intentional. They were very intentional about this. And when you talk about a quote unquote break room, it's one big area.
Absolutely.
So you're really forcing people to interact and share those stories.
It's exactly what they're doing, and they have a lot of conference rooms that are glass, that it's clear glass. So it still feels open and very, very transparent, literally.
Also talk about a 360 assessment that was done, and town hall meetings, and several processes that is really helping in the process.
Yeah, so Craig, being a thoughtful leader, willing to discover about himself and his team, challenged himself to get a 360 assessment by the entire staff on he and his leadership team. It's kind of a scary thing when you think about it, but they did it. They learned a lot of great things. They got a lot of compliments for things they were doing well and a lot of clear opportunities to get better. And one of the main ones they had was their folks wanted the leadership team to be more transparent and connect them that why are we doing the things we're doing? How does it connect back to our mission? And so they looked at ways to be more communicative. So you have an internal app that Amplify, folks you've talked to before on some of your platforms, Gary. They have an app that helps communicate internally. They do a monthly town hall. They do a monthly newsletter. And they have intentional one-to-ones from managers to their teams that they're on. And they're really taking seriously this desire for the employees to hear as they continue this new mission and growing. Right now they have 80 employees, going to be 200 at some point. Folks want to know how this is all going to work and how's it tied to our mission.
And speaking of technology, you mentioned that employee engagement app. There's also an app that they're utilizing to engage customers.
Yeah. So they take seriously the communication internally and externally. And so as they think about who is their target audience, it tends to be younger folks that are technology driven, app centric. And so they put a new app that just rolled out, and it helps to engage out with the people who would use their services, that would help them get the students in a better spot financially and really connect with the resources they need. So that's just up off the ground. They they're getting it running as we speak, which is pretty cool.
Sort of put a wrap on this. This is a new standalone company, and really as they look to grow, they're really putting from the outset a focus on culture to make that happen.
Very much so. As you think about the intentional design of space, you think about the 360 leadership growth and assessment they're doing, and the internal intentional communication. They're taking very seriously how culture works to create a success story. And Craig said it best as he talks to his folks internally. If you give me 3 years to grow this place, because we want to grow it, we got a lot. There's a lot of work to do. I'll give you back 3 years of growth, and I'll help you grow as a person, which is a nice symbiotic relationship with who they are and what they do.
Good. Student Connections, interesting a company, really focused on culture and looking to grow. We'll be following the story. Paul Ashley, as always, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Gary.
All right. Well, thanks for watching Inside Indiana Business on YouTube. For the latest statewide business news, be sure to visit InsideIndianaBusiness.com and subscribe to our free daily e-newsletters by clicking on the link.